stage, advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Please be seated. Chancellor, graduates, guests and members of the university community, good morning and welcome. I'm Bill Patterson, University Secretary and Director of Governance Support. Graduations are one of the university's most important events. This year, the university will hold 50 ceremonies both in Sydney and in Shanghai. On occasion, the university seeks to honour individuals who have made extraordinary impacts upon society through the contributions they have made. Today, the university will bestow an honorary award upon an outstanding member of our community. I would like to introduce to you the official party who are here on stage. Seated at the centre of the stage is Ms. Catherine Livingstone AO, Chancellor of the University, who will preside over this ceremony. The Chancellor is joined today by Professor Andrew Parfitt, Vice-Chancellor and President, Emeritus Professor Michael McDaniel AO, former UTS Pro-Vice-Chancellor, Indigenous Leadership and Engagement, our honorary award recipient, who will also deliver the occasional address, Associate Professor Greg Martin, Associate Dean, Teaching and Learning from the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, who will be presenting graduates. The other people seated on stage are Professor Robin Quiggin, Pro-Vice-Chancellor, Indigenous Leadership and Engagement, Distinguished Professor Larissa Berent, AO, Laureate Fellow at the Jumbana Institute for Indigenous Education and Research, Professor Prabhu Sivabalan and Mr. Kurt Cheng, members of the UTS Council, professors, academics and professional staff from faculties and institutes who played such a large part in the success of today's graduates. It now gives me great pleasure to invite Ms. Catherine Livingstone AO, our Chancellor, to formally open proceedings.
In the name of the Council, I declare this congregation of the University of Technology Sydney duly assembled. On behalf of the University of Technology Sydney, and before we begin proceedings, and on behalf of all of those present, I would like to acknowledge and pay our respects to the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. It is upon their ancestral lands that UTS stands. Similarly, I would also like to pay our respects to their elders, both past and present, acknowledging them as the traditional custodians of knowledge for this place. In this graduation ceremony, we will celebrate the conferral of awards upon graduates from the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. Today's ceremony marks a great achievement for the graduates and recognises the support which they have received from family and friends, many of whom are with us here today. So we warmly welcome you, and together we'll celebrate the achievements of the graduates. I will now ask Professor Andrew Parfitt, Vice-Chancellor and President, to present a candidate for the Doctor of the University honoris causa.
Chancellor, the Council of the University has established the award of Doctor of the University honoris causa to be made to persons who, in its opinion, have made an outstanding contribution to professional practice in a discipline of interest to the university. Chancellor, I present to you Professor Michael McDaniel, AO. Professor Michael McDaniel AO is a member of the Wiradjuri Nation of Central New South Wales. Professor McDaniel has made a remarkable contribution to UTS and the wider community during a distinguished career in Indigenous higher education. His outstanding record of service to the arts, culture and the community spans more than 3 decades. Former Pro-Vice-Chancellor Indigenous Leadership and Engagement and Director of the Jumbana Institute for Indigenous Education and Research, he is currently a Special Advisor to the Vice-Chancellor on major Indigenous priorities. He is also a Professor in Indigenous Education. Since returning to UTS in 2010, Professor McDaniel has been the chief architect of UTS's approach to Indigenous education, research and employment. His vision, energy, collegiality and culture-centred leadership has brought the Indigenous agenda to the forefront at UTS. His efforts have helped establish excellence in Indigenous higher education and research as one of the 3 commitments in the UTS 2027 strategy and a defining characteristic of UTS's identity. Professor McDaniel's leadership has delivered significant improvements for Indigenous students and staff at UTS. Since 2011, UTS has seen a notable increase in the total Indigenous student participation rate and the Indigenous undergraduate student success rate. The number of Indigenous higher degree by research students has risen 6-fold. The number of Indigenous staff at UTS has tripled from 19 to 64, and the number of Indigenous professors and associate professors has increased from 3 to 21, with UTS now having the largest Indigenous professoriate in the country. Under his leadership, Indigenous research also significantly expanded, and UTS's approach to the inclusion of Indigenous content across all UTS courses is nation-leading. As a result of this, UTS is now considered to be one of the country's leading universities in Indigenous education and research, and an internationally significant institution in this field. In recognition of his achievements and contribution to the field of Indigenous education, Professor McDaniel was honoured as the 2019 National NAIDOC Scholar of the Year. In the same year, he was conferred as an Honorary Doctor of Education by the World Indigenous Nations University. Professor McDaniel was appointed an Officer of the Order of Australia in 2021 for his distinguished service to Indigenous higher education and to the advancement of social cohesion through reconciliation. He is a Fellow of the Royal Society of New South Wales. Professor McDaniel has held several state and federal government appointments, including Chair of the Australian Institute of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Studies, member of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Higher Education Advisory Council to the Federal Minister for Education, a member of the National Native Title Tribunal, and as a Commissioner with the New South Wales Land and Environment Court. He has also served on boards in the arts and culture sector, including as Chair of the Board of Bangarra Dance Theatre, as a board member of the Museum of Contemporary Art Australia, and currently serves on the board of the Sydney Writers' Festival. Professor McDaniel has worked tirelessly for the advancement of Indigenous Australians. His leadership style and personal commitment drives continued positive change for all Australians. It is a great honour for the University of Technology, Sydney, to confer Emeritus Professor Michael McDaniel, AO, as a Doctor of the University honoris causa, to acknowledge and honour the significant contributions he has made to UTS, its staff and students, and to its reputation as a leader in Indigenous higher education and research. Chancellor, in recognition of his distinguished contribution, I ask you to admit Professor Michael McDaniel, AO, to the degree of Doctor of the University honoris causa.
So by the authority vested in me by the Council of the University of Technology, Sydney, I admit Emeritus Professor Michael McDaniel, AO, to the degree of Doctor of the University honoris causa. Congratulations, Michael. I now invite Associate Professor Gregory Martin, Associate Dean Teaching and Learning of the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, to present graduates.
Chancellor, I invite graduates in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences to stand. Chancellor, the UTS Council has resolved that candidates recommended to it by the Faculty Board in Arts and Social Sciences as eligible for awards have completed all requirements of a course of study approved by the boards and has conferred these awards upon them. Chancellor, I now present those graduates from the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences who are here before you to acknowledge the awards for which they have qualified.
So on behalf of the Council of the University of Technology, Sydney, I congratulate graduates on their achievements in obtaining the awards for which they have now qualified, and huge congratulations on this.
Graduates, please be seated. Chancellor, the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences has a long tradition of research excellence. We describe, understand and address important research problems and questions in innovative and productive ways. Our research features a collaborative and interdisciplinary approach in partnership with the professional fields with whom we engage, and which allows students to submit innovative, creative work. Chancellor, I now present to you graduates receiving research degrees. The following students have graduated with the Doctor of Creative Arts. Jason Lewis de Rosso, for a thesis entitled Unstable Architecture, the Spatiality of Identity and Loss in the Personal Essay Film, supported by a supervisory panel that included Principal Supervisor, Associate Professor Alexander Munt, and Co-Supervisor Dr. Gregory Ferris. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Jason Lewis de Rosso. Jack Cameron Stanton, for a thesis entitled Investigating Postmodern Irony and Postmodern Sincerity in the Contemporary Satirical Novel and Fun City, a Novel, supported by a supervisory panel that included Principal Supervisor Professor Tony McCris and Co-Supervisor Dr. Delia Falconer. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Jack Cameron Stanton. Doctor of Philosophy, Imran Firdas, for a thesis entitled The Cinema of Gaspar Noé, A Poetics of Transgression, supported by a supervisory panel that included Principal Supervisor, Associate Professor Alexander Munt, and co-supervisors Dr. Belinda Middleweek and Dr. Gregory Ferris. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Imran Firdas. Thank you. Chiamizi Oboima Nusu, for a thesis entitled Political Participation in the Twitter Sphere and the Nigerian 2015 and 2019 Presidential Elections, a Cultural Underpinning, supported by a supervisory panel that included Principal Supervisor Professor Saba Babawi and Co-Supervisor Dr. Alga Olinakova. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Chiamizi Oboima Nusu. Alina Radina, for a thesis entitled A Multimodal Analysis of News Magazine's Portrayals of the United States, China and Russia in Cover Images and Cover Stories, supported by a supervisory panel that included Principal Supervisor Dr. Catriona Bonfiglioli and co-supervisors Emeritus Professor Theodore Van Leeuwen, and Dr. Samira Durrani, Chancellor. I present to you Dr. Alina Radina. Alana Kate West, for a thesis entitled A Spectrum of Possibilities, an Eco-Social Analysis of Renewable Energy Transformation in Regional Australia, supported by a supervisory panel that included Principal Supervisor Dr. Jonathan Marshall and Co-Supervisor Dr. Jeremy Walker, Chancellor. I present to you Dr. Alana Kate West. Chancellor, we now present to you our coursework graduates receiving awards today.
The following students have graduated with the Executive Master of Strategic Communication, Daniel Justin Carr. Marnie Kathleen Phoebe Claire Herbertson. Henry Alistair Young. Master of Advanced Journalism, Brittany Davis. Helen Smith. Connor Stevens. Mia Wandel. Master of Media Arts and Production, Al Mansour Ferdous. S.M. Aminul Islam. Bo Peng. Master of Media Practice and Industry, Brianna Avnol. Natalie Barrios. Alison Christina Ho. Tong Liu. James Dennis Nolan Nayland. Juan Paulo Bermejo Sevilla. Winnie Wu. Aoyang Xu. Yining Xu. Master of Strategic Communication, Nan Chiem. Raylene Louise Doble. Ana Gabriela Ibarra Ochoa. Tamara Mansueto. Han P. Yuxuan Sun. Ziting Wang. Meng Lu Yang. Graduate Diploma in Strategic Communication, Sasha Renee Hawkins. Bachelor of Communication, Journalism, Bachelor of International Studies, Timothy T. Kin Chan. Audrey Denier. Kathleen Mary Fitzpatrick. Bachelor of Communication, Media Arts and Production, Bachelor of Arts in International Studies, Nga T. Quinn Nguyen. Bachelor of Communication, Social and Political Sciences, Bachelor of International Studies, Paula Alvarez. Olivia Christine Coles. Jiang Le Board. Bachelor of Communication, Social and Political Sciences, Bachelor of Languages and Cultures, Zara Louise Chaudhary. Bachelor of Communication, Digital and Social Media, Min Jie Berry. Lillian Grace Bradford. Dion Faith Brown. Qi Chen Cai. Reardon Alexander Cameron. Nasia Christabel. Jia Yi Ding. Abby Jane Dwyer. Elvany Heaven Flanagan. Mika Fujimoto. Hannah Lucy Gray. Shi Wei Jin. Ashley Kim. Miller Joe McPhee. Yuen Tong Mai. Yelena Alyssa Marinkovits. Chloe McGrath. Mia Lorena Nahum. Carla Constance Papadimatos. Eleanor Lindsay Rose. Freya Louise Stevens. Shai Stern. Phoebe Chan. Mu Wang. Yiwen Wang. Fred Watkins. Ru Yun Weng. Ling Hui Xiong. Junting Ye. Jia Sha Yin. Jing Zhang. Xiao Zhang. Ziyi Zhang. Xuanfan Zhao. Jiayi Zhou. Bachelor of Communication, Digital and Social Media, Diploma in Innovation, Lauren Cornelio. Alexandra Guskos. Bachelor of Communication, Digital and Social Media, Diploma in Languages, Asha Hendler. Bachelor of Communication, Journalism, Sarah Bucanfuso. Inasha Iftekhar. Kirsten Jelinek. Dimitrios Eftimio Carlos. Ricky Kirby. James Maxwell Langblom. Shuoyao Li. Ioannis Picos. Ragini Rampal. Ella Rose Smith. Jeremy Alexander Walker. Gabriella Warner. Mohammed Youssef. Bachelor of Communication, Journalism, Diploma in Languages, Bevan Gina Liu. Joshua Main. Bachelor of Communication, Media Arts and Production, George Dylan Adrianakos. John Bulatov. Oscar Edward Brown. Thomas Evans Burrow. Zoe Serena Castorina. Chit Su Su San. Yvette Crouch. Hamish Michael Elliott. Thomas Joshua Ford. Yuan Shi Gao. Nicholas Junta. Shayla Elizabeth Gosper. Ryan Leslie Hare. Yan Wan Ho. Yang Kwang Jo. Pele Coopers. Yafei Lung. Si Yao Li. Wen Fei Liang. Ke Yi Liao. Jia Yu Lin. Fan Tan Dao Lu. Zhong Ying Luo. Chong Dat Nguyen. Ekhren Chanuka Pereira. Nelson John Pitter. Hao Ren. Jody K. Shin. Kesya Tamara Suryaputra. Alana Teklitz. Vi Gao Chong. Achilles Dionis. Federica Isabella van Tulden. Yu Jie Wen. Suzaya Elisa Hui Wong. Ya Chao Yang. Yue In. Hong Yu Zhang. Lu Zhang. Zhu Yi Zheng. Liu Hao Zhuo. Yulin Zhu. Bachelor of Communication, Public Communication, Edward Giles. Bachelor of Communication, Social and Political Sciences, Neda Bahrami. Brielle Emma Rose Coulburn. Tia Kerno Cheng. Ella Del Monte. Gianluca Dragone. Jonathan Hamish Earp. Danny L. Hastings. Eleanor Maria Kokaris. Joanne LaHood. Justin Lair. Leilani Olivia Carroll Lord. Zoe Parker. Kirsten Alexa Ritchie. Olivia Emily Simpson. Arij Slama Ng. Samantha Tate. Patricia Bernadette Tolentino. Bachelor of Communication, Strategic Communication, Valentina Sofia Hamdan Caballero. Amanda Pei-Ying Lee. Bachelor of Communication, Media Arts and Production, Yifei Wang.
Chancellor, this concludes the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences.
So on behalf of all at UTS, I'd like again to say huge congratulations to our new graduates, and really just as importantly to your family and friends who have given their support, love, understanding, and no doubt resilience during your studies. Finishing a degree or diploma is a major milestone, and we don't underestimate the hard work and the sacrifices that you've actually had to make in reaching this goal. You should be very proud of what you have achieved, because your university is certainly very proud of you. But your graduation is actually one of the most important moments in your life and brings with it opportunities and challenges. The opportunities have certainly never been greater, as UTS graduates are held in very high esteem by employers, not only because of the quality of the education that you have received here, but also, most importantly, because of its very practical nature. Conversely, the challenges have never been greater. Scrutiny and the expectations of society are already high and continue to grow. I would urge you all to maintain the highest level of professional and personal integrity. Confront with courage the inevitable ethical dilemmas as they arise, and remember the caution that the behaviour you walk past is the behaviour you condone. Beyond the opportunities and challenges, of course, a graduation signals that you have gained new knowledge. Use it wisely and use it responsibly. Ensure that your impact is a positive one, and that you're seen to contribute and not to take. And I say this particularly because you are graduates of a university of technology. And technology, as we know, can certainly be a force for good, but you need to be alert to unintended consequences, and even more importantly, to the applications of technology which are intentionally not benign. There will be times, of course, when knowledge alone is not enough, and you'll be required to make judgments where the answer is not clear. Judgment is informed by experience, and particularly the experience we gain through making mistakes, or so-called mistakes. We all make mistakes, but the benefit is that they provide the best learning and build the reserves of judgment on which we can later draw. So my challenge to you all here today is to make sure that you make enough space and time to acquire and deepen your judgment skills. Turn off the laptop, turn off the iPhone, and just think. Think about the questions you need to ask, think about the answers you receive, and then think about the judgments you are being called upon to make. I just can't stress how crucial it is to be able to think. We all know that our world is becoming increasingly complex, but with careful thought and reflection, we can manage this complexity. Purposefully thinking through the decisions you will face and identifying the intended and unintended consequences is a very important career skill. So please make sure that you give enough time in your career and as you develop to develop this skill. Just think, it's not as easy as it might seem. But finally, we hope that your relationship with UTS doesn't end here today. Your career will no doubt evolve in multiple directions, requiring new and continuous learning. And UTS is very focused on how it can support you, its alumni, in your lifelong learning needs. So we now welcome you into the global UTS alumni community. Stay involved and stay in touch. And remember that the UTS Alumni Office is your lifelong connection to the university. So may I congratulate you all again and wish you every success in applying the skills and knowledge that you have gained from our world-class institution. Well done. It now gives me great pleasure to invite Emeritus Professor Michael McDaniel, AO, to deliver the occasional address. Michael.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, my dear First Nations colleagues that are on the platform today, distinguished Professor Larissa Brent, AO, and Professor Heidi Norman, members of Council, Acting Dean, dear friends, family, fellow Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and elders of many nations that have gathered with us today. But most importantly, I want to acknowledge you, the graduates. It's your special day. And can I tell you from this position up here, you look absolutely fabulous. And I hope you're just beaming with absolute delight and pride as a result of what you've achieved today. Before I go any further, one thing I've got to explain to you, I take my glasses on and off. It's not for theatrical effect, it's because they cost me $20. Right? I can read the words in front of me, but I can't see you. So if I want to see you, I've got to take them off. So before I proceed any further, as a Wiradjuri man, I'd also like to add my respects. I would also like to Nguna Yinjamara, Mangalang or Mangina, Garagal Mangalang, Buyor Mangalang, Nguna Yinjamara Mujigangalang, Gina Murabango. As a Wiradjuri man, I pay my deepest respects. I give Yinjamara to the elders and the people of this land, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and give my deepest thanks and gratitude for the privilege of living on this beautiful part of our country and being sustained by it. I also give honour and thanks to my ancestors and to my Wiradjuri elders, whose shoulders I stand upon and who have surrounded me with love and cared for me my entire life. And with that, a special acknowledgement to Auntie Glendra Stubbs, who's over on the right, waving a hand up. Wave your hand, Auntie Glendra. Auntie Glendra is a much loved, give her a round of applause. She is a much loved and cherished community member and Wiradjuri elder, and I absolutely adore her. So thank you for sharing the day with us. Well, it's an enormous privilege, of course, to be here with you today, celebrating what must be one of the most significant days of your life's journey so far. For your family, of course, it's the culmination of many years of raising you and giving you every opportunity that they hoped would see you in the position that you are in today. And of course you, building upon that wonderful gift, have engaged in many years of study. Dare I say long nights, anxiety over assignments, the writing of tens of thousands of words. It's been a test of your intelligence, of your determination, of your character, your ability to multitask and deliver the goods on time. But I also hope you've been able to squeeze in some wild times as well. I'd suggest that at times you've been uncomfortable as perhaps some of your fundamental beliefs and ideas, perhaps ideas that you've inherited, have been challenged. And as a result, they may have been completely reinforced. Then again, you may have adapted them or abandoned them altogether. That was certainly my experience of my first degree at university, and I found it a life-changing experience. One that set me on a path that I never thought was imaginable, and I can certainly share with you, set my family on a trajectory which has certainly improved their lives. My sincerest hope for you today, as you go forward, is that you have as equally a rewarding life. And as you go forward, I hope that as you develop professionally, you also develop your passion. What do I mean by that? I mean to find the thing that gives you motivation in life, beyond simply a career, beyond financial security and material benefit. Something that gives you purpose, gives you a sense of leaving your mark on the world. For me, as you have probably worked out, that's been Indigenous education. Something I've personally benefited from, having left school at 14 and gained entry into university through a bridging program for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people later in life. But it's also something I believe is increasingly important for all Australians. My proposition is that Indigenous education is for all Australians. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that for First Nations people, it's about, for the first time in generations, having the opportunity to excel educationally, and as a result, have the opportunity to fully participate in Australian society. But I would also propose that for other Australians, it's equally as important, but means a different thing. By that I mean it involves, possibly again, for the first time in generations, having the opportunity to gain a deeper knowledge of First Nations history, culture and philosophy, and through that, gain an even deeper understanding of the land that we all love and share. In that regard, I believe Indigenous education is about nation building. I've always thought, wouldn't it be amazing as a result of a generation of Indigenous education that we all shared, that we went beyond think of ourselves simply as a nation state. Of course, it's a nation state where we're fairly new. We started in 1901. But imagine if we thought of ourselves as one society, and I don't think we completely do at the moment, but imagine if we thought of ourselves as one society. And if we are a society, if we are an Australian society, that society, those human interactions didn't begin on the 26th of January 1788. This is a place of society for 2,000 generations. Australian society is 2,000 generations old. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we all connected to that and claimed that same heritage, a 2,000 generation old Australian society? Then imagine again if, as a result of our exposure collectively to Indigenous wisdom and philosophy, not only did we cherish and celebrate our Constitution and our laws that guide us, but we were also guided by deep, ancient Australian philosophy. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'll give you one example. Within Wiradjuri society, we have a philosophy, a guiding principle called Yinjamara. Yinjamara, according to our elders, is the first law. It's the first teaching. It's the first requirement of the development of a fully rounded human being. And it requires this. It requires a life lived of honour and respect. And by that it also implies that we must live lives of generosity, of graciousness, of kindness and of forgiveness. It means that we must be so focused on our responsibility for each other that we're required to watch every word and every action that comes out of us, knowing that it has an impact, seen and not seen, on every living being and every non-living being. Imagine if we were all familiar, for example, with the deep Australian philosophy of Yinjamara. I dare say if we can take pride in the concept of mateship, imagine how unique a society we would be if we could add Yinjamara. So, this is my hope. This is my hope for our society. I believe it's possible. I believe this vision has always been on offer. It's always been there. It's there for the taking. Though, as we've seen as a result of recent events, perhaps not quite yet. So anyway, this is my passion. This is what drives me. This is the future I would like to see. So, in closing, and I bet you're always glad to hear those words, in closing. In closing, if you stay on top of your field of practice, and the world is changing constantly, you will need to stay on top of your education as your field of practice develops. Work exceptionally hard, study, and imitate those you admire. Develop your moral compass and have a commitment to social good. I've no doubt that you'll have an extraordinary and rewarding career. Again, I congratulate you and wish you the very best as you go forward in life. I, again, take the opportunity to congratulate your family and friends who have done everything within their power over the course of your life to make today possible. Again, thank you and congratulations.
Graduations are certainly among the most important occasions in the life of a university, and we are very fortunate at UTS to have some of the most distinguished members of our community speak to us. I've known Professor McDaniel for quite some time, and I hope that you've seen today what I've always seen in him, the humility and intellect and the deep thinking that he has around the future of Australia, combined with a passion, an absolute passion, a fire for doing what is right and getting what's right done. This university has to be very grateful to Michael for holding us to account for delivering the things that we have achieved in Indigenous research and education that I cited when I spoke earlier. He's offered for you graduates some important lessons, a reminder to reflect on what you've learnt and to build on it, and to not be afraid of being uncomfortable and challenged. For a rewarding life, find your passion and seek your purpose. And importantly, at this point in time, Professor McDaniel has reminded us of being one society that embraces a shared future, which he has so beautifully articulated for us this morning. Please join me again in thanking Professor McDaniel.
Chancellor, guests and graduates, that occasional address concludes the formal proceedings of this ceremony. On behalf of the Chancellor, I invite you to join the official party for refreshments. These will be served in the Great Hall foyer and in the balcony room adjoining this hall. The photography, framing and memorabilia services are located on level 4, which is one floor below us. The academic procession is about to leave the Great Hall. As it does, I invite our new graduates to join the procession, which will end in the balcony room. Would the congregation please rise for the academic procession?